Remember these wreaths I made earlier in one of my videos? Well, now you'll see what I'm going to do with them. One of them is going to be the base of my May Day wreath today. This is last year's wreath. It's in remarkably good condition after an entire year. Those are oak leaves. But this year's is going to be very different. It's not going to be built to last. Let's go out in the garden and see what we have for this wreath. Lavender's perfect, but it takes so many stems to make it show it all in the wreath. That's okay, I've got plenty here. The tradition of making a wreath and hanging it on your front door for good luck for the year, like so many other things in Greece, goes back to ancient times. I need to pick enough lavender to make at least 5 bunches, good-sized bunches, so that it'll show up on the wreath. I think the secret to making a really beautiful one is to kind of split it up into groups and make sure that you have enough material to go all the way around the wreath, because it takes a lot more than you realize. The rosemary doesn't have many flowers at this time, so I'm going to skip that. And I definitely want to put oak leaves in it because it bulks it up and makes it look really nice. At this time of year, the oak leaves are nice bright green, almost a cabbage green. They're darker than they were last month, but they're going to get a lot darker in the months to come. In so much of the world, May 1st signals the onset of spring, but here in the Mediterranean, it's practically the end of spring. We're almost going into summer now. Most of the wildflowers have peaked. As you can see, the grass is starting to get a little bit brown, and it won't be very many more weeks that we'll have such a wide variety of flowers. It's a little bit past the margaritas prime, and I think I'm gonna skip them for this year. Dandelions definitely seem hardy enough for a wreath, and they're all over the place this time. Oh, this will be pretty. Sort of a silvery gray. When I first began thinking about this year's wreath, I decided I wanted to do something very different, and that I wasn't that interested in having it last too long like I was last year. And then I realized the perfect thing for a very different wreath than I've ever done before is this bottle brush. And they're in the perfect state right now. It's not going to last more than a few days. The red will start falling off, but it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And indeed, very different than anything I've ever done before. I didn't expect so many pollinators in this bush, so I'm going to leave it as it is. I've taken some, but I've left plenty for the bees. Look at that. Crazy. I think we're ready. The white fluff flying around is from the surrounding poplar trees. The first step is to tie off bunches. So you want to decide beforehand how many sections your wreath is going to be. This wreath is going to be 5 sections, so I'll need 5 bunches. These wreath bases made out of grapevines work out really well because they have natural hangers. On May 1st, when I put the final product on social media, I had several comments about how professional it looked. So I'm going to slow this down here, and if anybody wants to make one like this or get the idea of how I do it, they can just watch this once, and it's super simple. I lived in this little stone cottage for nearly 8 years. My daughter actually considers this her childhood home because we had it from the time she was 2 years old until she was 9, and we moved to a slightly larger stone cottage after that. That circular object in the middle of the little vineyard used to be used for threshing barley. And this house is probably nearly 300 years old. We've come here today to collect chamomile for tea. I have discovered since this day that there is a tool readily available that makes this job much, much easier. So I'm hoping to get one of these soon. And it's actually based on a very old tool. But it was a beautiful day, not too cold, not too hot, no glaring sun, and it was a really nice chance just to catch up with an old friend. I just wanted wanted to make a mention of the new product that I've been developing, because in my last video I said that I would talk about that in this one. But the packaging has been late in arriving, so it's going to be a delayed launch. But be sure that within the next video or two, you're going to see something very new and very different coming from Acorn World. I'm not sure how many days or weeks this will take to completely dry out, but if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I will let you know once I've gotten it completely dry how long it took. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.